started. We'll have a prayer followed by the pledge of allegiance. So everyone please rise. Father God, you know why we are here. You know the hearts of all men and women. Remind us today of the urgency of being prepared to serve our fellow human beings in time of need. Help us as helping agents always to be available to the collective as well as the individual needs of others in times of emergency and when people are in stressful and hurting situations. Give us an understanding of the reason why we exist and serve. We affirm today, O Lord, that a better community and a better Randolph County and a better America begins with us. Bless now this gathering, and may God bless Randolph County and God bless America. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we get the meeting called to order for agenda business, and the first thing we have is public comment. Sheriff, do we have anyone signed up for public comment?
Richard Devise.
Richard?
Yeah, I laid some folders by the sheriff, if you don't mind giving it to everybody, they're labeled, there's one for the sheriff and one for each commissioner. I appreciate it. And, I wanted to start, I seen the new, rules for public comment. What they should have on there is, I come to a lot of these meetings, I see people on their cell phone all the time. I mean, that's pretty rude. I think people ought to be paid attention to. I've been to about 17 meetings, since November 20th, about body cams. And like I have stated in the past, there's a whole lot of favoritism. There's not many people here, I don't know why. I think maybe you should have evening meetings. Maybe it's a lot of people that's on the agenda. I always hear a lot of times when I come to these meetings, you know, police put their life on the line. They're not even in the top 20. But there's a lot of people put their life on the line. Last meeting I was here, there was a fella here. We got all kinds of time to talk. I guess I ain't related to the commissioner and I ain't got tons of money. But I seen that the prosecuting attorney did a heck of a job on that public comment. I remember they must have watched my videos pretty good. Not my videos, but your guys' videos. Just watched me pretty good. Yeah, I can't believe it because it seemed like a pack of hypocrites to me, really. Because they don't practice what they preach. It's just a bunch of Pontius Pilate Christians. Sometimes the people that are elected in this county need to figure out that they work for the public, they don't work for themselves. Seems like the commission wants to be judge, jury, and executioner. Since I've come to these meetings, not one person, I don't care about me, I don't care what they do. Not a bit of sympathy since I started this civil suit and what happened to me with my family. Not a bit of sympathy, nobody apologized to my wife or nobody. The only reason the cams even got started was because of me. There would have never been no discussion. And I was totally left out of everything. I tried to get involved in the agenda, but there was nobody, anyone who put me in it. Even Mark told me that certain individuals didn't even want to involve me in it. That's fine. Every time I asked for something, I got roadblocked on it, no matter if it was Freedom of Information Acts or evidence. Talkington came to my house on an improper warrant, falsified criminal complaint, harassed and threatened my family, and I finally never got due process. I tried to go to the sheriff because I thought he was a little different than the last sheriff, but it didn't turn out that way. There are several bad actors in the Randolph County Sheriff's Department, in my opinion. That's Pennington, Knox, and Talkington. There's no transparency whatsoever, in my opinion. I mean, the commissioners don't have no problem with nepotism, it seems like. But they got a problem with what I say. There's tons of monies for cams, tons of money. They just don't want to do it. I talked to the chief of police. It's only $3,000 or $4,000 per officer. Peanuts. I don't understand the reason for it. And, sorry about that, lost my page. And, because it just seems like the elected officials here seem like they like to keep wanting to milk the system. Just seems like to me, because a lot of elected officials here have 2 or 3 businesses, plus they have their elected officials. Seems like they wanna maybe donate some of that money to the community. And lastly, this is not my comment, and I know how the rules are, I didn't make this comment. This is a comment I was told to pass on. And this is what my wife and my mother-in-law think of Brian Tyler. This, not me, they wanted me to pass this on, that he's an idiot that hides behind a badge. That's all I have, thank you very much.
Okay.
Is there anybody else, Sheriff?
No, sir.
All right, let's move on.
Okay. Moving on to minutes, I think we have 2 sets of minutes.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes from our February 1st, special session meeting as presented.
I got a motion on the floor to approve the meeting on February the 1st, 2022 as submitted. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carried.
I make a motion that we approve the February 17th regular session minutes as presented.
Motion on the floor to approve the minutes from the regular session meeting held on 17th of February 2022 as submitted. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign, motion carried. Next we have reports. Sheriff, you have anything to report?
No, sir.
Kurt, anything from the emergency squad?
Right now, we do have one EMT basic opening, and unfortunately, we've received a resignation of a paramedic this week. It's moving to another regional agency. All trucks are in service and stations are in service.
Robbie, you have anything from
Yeah.
911?
Yeah. Just want to let y'all know that we are in the process of acquiring a snowcat. It's being donated by TC Energy, for 911, OEM, countywide use. It's actually gonna be pretty beneficial, helping us get into our tower sites in the wintertime if we need to service the radio systems at the towers, rescues, anything like that within the county, actually the whole region, surrounding counties benefit from it also. So once we get that, get an operation, we're gonna try to find the funding to obtain a trailer to haul the one, so
Okay.
it will be housed at the 911 center.
Who'd you say donated it?
TC Energy,
Okay, very good.
What was it, Rob?
snowcat.
Oh.
So it's got the metal tracks on it. So yeah, should be pretty beneficial to the whole county.
Yeah, especially maybe emergency squad, like you
Yeah.
say, in case emergency, well, good.
Yep, that's
All right,
all I
Rob.
got.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Brenda, you have anything?
Peggy.
Peggy, you have any reports?
If you'd like to hear a report on this swimming pool and splash pad?
We sure would.
Good. We just met with the engineers, all the designs and, plans are like 95% complete. We're ready to put it out to bid. We'll run a ad in the Intermountain, advertising for contractors. Probably do that by the end of this month. I'd say we'll probably hire a contractor by the end of April. Hopefully we can break ground in May or June. It'll take 120 days to get it open after that. We're trying to get it open by the end of summer. No promises, but we're hopeful for that.
Based on supply of materials.
Right.
And the weather.
Right, if everything goes right, it'll be open by the end.
Yeah, we have faith in you,
Yeah.
Robinson, so.
Yeah, if everything goes right, boring no,
Thank you, Peggy.
you're welcome.
Okay, anybody else reports? No. Moving on next to correspondence. Brooke, we have no correspondence, so we'll move on to announcements. And of course, it's March, it's budget time, so we'll announce our budget meetings here. The first one will be March 9th at 1 o'clock. And the next one will be, next two will be March 16th and 23rd at 10 o'clock. And then on March 25th, 2022, hopefully everything we can get in here at 8 o'clock and approve the budget. next commission meeting will be February the 17th at 1:30.
February.
March 17th.
That was a test you passed.
Yeah, you're,
Double checking.
you're still waiting. I may not be. Okay, moving on to items for discussion and action. And first, we have item A, that's an informational presentation from Elkins Depot Welcome Center. I have Ann Beardsley here, and
Actually have the whole crew,
the whole gang's here.
the whole gang's here.
Which is it?
Tara's gonna be on that side because she's going to be handling the technical part of this, so. On behalf of the, Board of Directors, our AmeriCorps, those of you who don't know, Morgan Glue, our Marketing Director, Tara Gaynor, and, I'm Ann Beardsley, since we have not met yet, and I'm the Executive Director. I want to thank you for the opportunity to present our annual report today. As many of you know, the Elkins Depot Welcome Center opened in 2006, and 4 years ago, we became the only accredited Convention and Visitors Bureau in Randolph County, with a full-time staff and a welcome center. It's been an exciting and fulfilling opportunity, and we want to share our progress with you.
We and the volunteers were busy at the Welcome Center this year. Trains once again pulled into the depot, bringing an increased number of visitors. From 2020, we saw an increase of 660% in visitation, welcoming people from 43 states and 5 countries. We distributed over 50,000 brochures, including new inventory designed in-house, highlighting motorcycling routes, fairs and festivals, and recreation areas in Randolph County. We want to recognize our volunteers and board members for all they do. An impressive 201.5 years of service have been dedicated to the Welcome Center since 2006 by our current board members and volunteers.
Creating engaging and visible social media content is one of the most crucial steps to attract travelers. Having open communication allows the future traveler to feel safe and welcome when visiting our area. Each week, our engagements and posts help drive traffic to our website. Through our combined efforts, we have seen a substantial increase in followers and visitation in 2021. We have over 13,000 followers on our social media accounts and reached over 2.4 million individuals on our posts, which is a 45% increase over last year. We have 8,300 email subscribers who receive a newsletter inviting them to visit us every month. Our website had over 320,000 page views last year. Merging our social media and tourism marketing has led to this success in our organization. Promoting Elkins and Randolph County as a year-round recreation destination has been a top priority for us. Throughout each season, we made sure to strategically plan which magazines were the best fit for our print and digital advertisements. We advertised in over 70 different publications, not including our creative marketing and press releases. We were recognized in several major publications for free, including Southern Living as Best Mountain Town, and Blue Ridge Outdoors as one of 10 biking destinations across the Blue Ridge. We also participated in the Department of Tourism 80-20 Match Cooperative Advertising Program, where we utilized our marketing money by only paying $4,500 for $22,500 worth of ads. Through our print and digital advertisements, we potentially reached 43.7 million people. Travel influencers. Who are they and why do they matter? Influencers have a strong impact on travelers because their content is genuine and trustworthy. They provide social proof for destinations and brands alike and confirm a brand or location's credibility to potential guests. The scope of influencer marketing is growing. Studies show that younger generations put more of an importance on experiences. As such, these demographics are more likely to take trips and travel. For hospitality and tourism, this presents a giant opportunity to grow our industry with the help of influencers. In 2021, we hosted 3 travel influencers, 2 in connection with the West Virginia Tourism Office, and 1 who is writing about all 55 counties. We feel that these influencers bring a lot to our organization because they can promote our destination through their eyes, and we also end up appealing to a target audience that we might not normally reach.
This year, we saw in-person events take place again. We were happy to see the Our Town concerts and Mountain State Street Machines bring locals and visitors to the town square. The Welcome Center remained open past normal operating hours the evenings of the concerts to provide restrooms to the attendees. We recognize the importance of events such as these in not only bringing people to our area, but also in lifting community morale, and we try to support them however we can. Additionally, in November, I attended West Virginia's annual Hospitality University, where I heard our legislators speak on the importance of growing the tourism industry, and other speakers present on a variety of topics covering economic development, outdoor recreation, and diversity and inclusion. In January, Tara and I attended Tourism Day at the legislature. We will continue to represent Elkins and Randolph County, whether in person or virtually, in 2022.
In an effort to increase collaboration and expand essential tourism markets in Randolph County in 2021, we contributed almost $18,000 to organizations earmarked for marketing purposes. The CVB paid for the Durban and Greenbrier Valley Railroad and the Dandy Dancer Theater to attend 2 shows each. And these shows were geared specifically to motor coaches, group operators, and tour buses. We created and paid for an ad in American History magazine and produced much needed walking tour maps for Beverly, as well as providing funding for Beverly's Heritage Center website. The West Virginia Railroad Museum also received promotional funding for this coming season. We recognize the efficiency of working together better. We hold membership in the West Virginia Hospitality and Travel Association, the West Virginia Association of CVBs, Civil War Trails, which promotes Civil War activities in 6 states, and also several local organizations. By attending these board meetings and working on statewide committees, we are putting Randolph County on the map and receiving recognition from the state of West Virginia. As you can see from this slide, we are a busy group of CVB operators. Our involvement in 8 boards of directors and participation in 17 different committees demonstrates our commitment to relationship building, economic development, and our county. Growing tourism in our communities takes a lot of energy and collaboration, and we feel it's our responsibility to do our part in this process.
Along with the multiple boards and committees we serve on, Elkins Randolph County Tourism is proud to be affiliated with leading organizations in our area. By partnering with these groups, we are better able to promote Randolph County locally, regionally, statewide, and beyond. Examples include our participation in the Hubcap program and the Mon Forest Towns Partnership to build our recreation economy, and our collaboration with CVBs and other entities throughout the Potomac Highlands region through the Creative Economy Initiative.
Work accomplished by the CVB literally affects the entire area. The people we attract to the region stay in hotels, they shop, they eat, buy gas, partake in local events, visit museums, ride trains, and enjoy the arts. But this is only the beginning of the impact these people have in this community. Because of the influx of money, businesses can maintain or hire additional workers. These workers can purchase clothes for their family, pay for groceries, go to the movies, shop locally, eat out, buy paint to take care of their daughter's bedroom, pay for their mortgage, hire a plumber, and the list goes on and on. Each dollar that a visitor brings to Randolph County circulates within our communities 6 times before it leaves here.
We have exciting things happening in 2022. Last weekend, we attended a travel show in BC, and we spoke with an estimated 500 people promoting Randolph County as a great getaway. Soon we'll be launching our Randolph County Passport program. Visitors will be able to pick up a passport at the Welcome Center with suggestions of places in our county to explore. Perhaps most exciting, the Ramps and Rail Festival is back. It will be held on Saturday, April 23rd, with a variety of food and craft vendors, live music playing at the Rotary Amphitheater, and trains pulling in and out of the depot. We are so ready to welcome vendors and festival goers back to Elkins to celebrate our culinary and railroad heritage, so mark your calendars.
This year, the state of West Virginia created an oversight committee to monitor the operation of CVBs to determine their ability to operate efficiently, budget appropriately, and attract visitors from outside of a 50-mile radius. The percentage overviews.
Nope.
I'll explain the percentage overviews. For some reason, we're not moving there. The state has established specific percentages that we must adhere to. They are 40% for marketing, 40% for staff, and 20% for operation. And so these we now must meet to remain an accredited CVB. We will have no difficulty fulfilling all of the parameters that have been set by the state when we report to them in September of 2022. Although we've worked hard to grow community and economic development, increase people's knowledge in Randolph County, and raise the number of visitors in our area, much of the credit for this goes to you. Because of your contributions, and financially and morally, we have been able to operate at a professional level that has allowed us to accomplish these goals. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask us now, or the information we're passing out will have my information on how to contact me later. And we really look forward to working with you in the future. It's been a great partnership from our viewpoint, and we hope that you feel the same.
We do.
Yeah, we do appreciate it.
Glad to see your ramp festival's back.
Hey, I know, we're really excited, so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome.
Chris, have you?
We have not met. I'm in here.
She said she's heard a lot of good things about you.
I have. Well, you know, I'm just trying to stay on the good side.
Appreciate the honesty.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm sorry.
Okay, moving on, we got, item B, that's an informational presentation of the funding request from Randolph County Community Arts Center. This is Kurt Barkley.
Good afternoon. I didn't realize it had been 3 years since I'd been here. It's really. My name is Kurt Barkley, and I'm the Executive Director of the Randolph County Community Arts Council Incorporated. We're a 501c3 nonprofit charitable organization. We're located in the former St. Brendan's Church right up the street on Randolph Avenue. Excuse me. I think that most of you are probably familiar with us or what we provide, but just very briefly, each year since 2001, this year being our 20th year in operation, we've been providing arts education classes, fine art exhibits, musical performances, and a number of other cultural experiences for this region. We also provide facilities and meeting space for a number of civic and community organizations such as the Elkins Randolph Chamber of Commerce, Scenic Trail Artists Guild, RCC. We're also a polling place. I think it's precinct 30, I think is the. This year, we're also going to be the location of the statewide Knights of Columbus meeting in July. We just picked that up recently, so we're excited about that. The Art Center is also, in the past, well, 2 or 3 years, I guess, maybe 3, become available as a rental facility for weddings, wedding receptions, private parties, and other types of get-togethers. We're going to start really aggressively marketing that as a venue for those types of things. There's just not as many as there used to be in the area, and we can seat, with tables, professional grade sound system, etc., about 150 people, give or take. So, and we've done all those types of events already. We've done weddings, we've done receptions, weddings, then the reception, after we've turned the room around, in 15 minutes. So we're actually pretty excited about that. Our arts education classes cover all ages, though our focus has been and always will be on the children of our community. From our after-school art class to our stained glass classes, we provide unique classes that encourage participation, inclusion, learning, and creativity for the entire community. Each year, the Arts Center has over 4,000 people come through. A lot of those come through, admittedly, at Forest Festival because we have a big event, art exhibit during that time. On average, we stage 30 events, at least, each year that are totally free and open to the public. These include all of our art exhibit opening receptions, 12 brown bag concerts, which are the third Wednesday of each month at noon, free, featuring a different performer from the area each time. as well as our annual fall juried art exhibit. Like I said, that coincides with Forest Festival. That's just an overview of what we provide. We operate with a staff of 2 full-time employees, but we have a number of dedicated volunteers. Some are here today. But without them, we couldn't pull off the events or do the shows that we do. Right now that we, and more importantly the public, are more confident about being able to offer in-person events, this fiscal year the Arts Center will continue providing all of our core programming, such as art classes, which have already begun, concerts, we've begun back doing our brown bag shows, exhibits, which we started, I guess, back in November with our full schedule, and we're scheduled now all the way through 2023. We have art exhibits scheduled all the way through the end of next calendar year. As I mentioned when I was here the last time, which was the fall of 2019, our focus at that time was going to be, and it remains, but we got derailed by COVID-19, obviously, because right after I was here, it was within a couple of months that everything fell apart. So we weren't really able to implement any of the outreach programs up the valley, to go further up. It's very easy for children who live in town or within a quick drive, or to get off the bus for our after-school art program to get to the Arts Center. So the program that I spoke of the last time, the outreach program, we actually contract with artists and then meet with elementary school, typically, principals, so that they can have an assembly. We send those performers, speakers, etc., for about an hour, and sometimes, frequently, that's tied in with part of their contract with us to perform a show maybe the day after or the day before. So it's more like a routing event. So we are moving forward, though, now that things seem to be opening up, with our outreach program. We want to have that up and going by June, and that's one of the reasons that I've come back here after 3 years to speak with you gentlemen. Finally, something that I touched on in the last time I was here is that one of the best things that's happened to us in the past few years has been that in 2018, we were finally able to become involved in the tour bus trade here in Randolph County. The following several months, I guess, after I spoke, we were able to get in 10 buses before everything really totally shut down. And then even after the Art Center itself was shut, we still had a couple that we were able to accommodate because we'd already contracted with them, and they were willing to come and travel during COVID. So 5 of those were actually in the month of October because a lot of it dovetails with the Leaf Peepers, Davis and Thomas and those areas. We've already begun booking for this year. We have 6 right now. We hope to add another 6 or 8. We could do more, but realistically, that's about what we expect to be able to get. There are still places that are a little leery of traveling. Very quickly, a word about the model that we use for those, I should say models, for the bus tours, and how it also benefits the community, is that the first model that we started using was the tour company would contract with a local restaurant like Smoke on the Water, or CJ Maggie's has done several, or Graceland when it was available. So they would ride the excursion trains during the day, then go to one of these restaurants and eat. And then they would get back on the bus, come to the Art Center, disembark. We would put out coffee, nice desserts, wine. They felt like they were like the king and queen of France because they got free wine. But again, these are all donated items, so it's really kind of, but they loved it. And that works very well, and that's the majority of the bus tour interaction that we have. Oh, then they see a show, by the way, I should have mentioned that. We put on one of our performers that we know that we've dealt with, in the past. And we've had all different kinds of musical acts, there for them. And they've all gone really very, very well. Quickly, the second model is something that we tried. I was skeptical if we could pull it off, but we did. which was, they would ride the excursion trains, go to their room, get back on the bus, come to the Arts Center, where I would have tables and chairs set up and the linens and all those types of things. The caterers would have already been there or come right at that time. They would get their meal there at the Arts Center, so it was a one-stop shop for the entire bus, or two buses, depending. Then it would be more like a dinner theater situation for them. They would watch the show from the table where they just eaten. That went very well too, so really I just leave it up to the bus tour company. If they want to contract with another restaurant, I'll be honest, I'd rather do it that way. It's the same money for us, so it's better to spread it out and give it to, somebody else that's local. For us to be able to continue providing education in the arts, provide our region with the concerts and facilities they expect from us, we're reaching out to the community and to our government agencies to assist us. To that end, the Arts Center is asking the Randolph County Commission for $6,500 to allow us to move forward in implementing those outreaches that we've spoken about and to continue providing Randolph County with the level of cultural experiences we have for the past 20 years. On behalf of the board and our staff, thanks very much for getting me on your schedule. I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
But things are starting to get back to normal.
They are. They are. We had 75 people at the last Brown Bag. Now again, that's a free event, but it's still important to us, something that we do every month for the past 20 years. But it was just a good barometer of how willing people are to actually come out. That's an older crowd, and those are the people that have been most vulnerable to COVID-19. So if they're willing to come out and watch a show, that's good news for us.
That's a good sign.
It is.
I think it ties in good with Ann's presentation because how she helps bring people to the community to stay. We have the hotel motel tax, which 50% goes to CBBs, and the other 50% we get to donate out to organizations like yourself that help bring tourism in. So, I mean, I'd be glad to make a motion to approve the $6,500 that he's requested, and then we take that from the hotel motel tax.
Okay, got a motion on the floor to approve the funding request for the West Randolph County Community Arts Center in the amount of $6,500, which was taken out of the hotel motel tax. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Peggy, what do you want?
Opposed?
I have 7 grants here for community arts.
Well, that'll put them out too.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
7 grants
Yeah, those
that are
are
available. We have for,
those cultural facilities I see on top, and then Arts Partners is probably
have-
in there.
right, yeah, there's 7 of them that are open if you wanna look them over. I mean, I can help with the grant writing on them. if you
Peggy's
want.
our grant writer for the county.
Oh. You see, that all falls on me. I write them all. I was able to wiggle out of one grant that's due this month for Preservation Alliance. So I was able to shed that one, but I still got 2 more to do before April 1st.
She's willing to help too.
Don't pass that
As
one
long
on.
as the county's willing to pay me, I'm willing to write the grant. There are 7 here that may be of interest to you.
So all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign, motion carried.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
We got the letter address.
Just right on there.
Okay, next have item C, that's informational presentation from Randolph County Tucker Children's Advocacy Center.
Yeah, hi guys.
Thank you.
How are y'all doing today? I found my packets for y'all.
Thank you.
You're welcome. As you guys know, I'm not doing a thing. Randolph Tucker, so I'm Margot Evick, I'm the Executive Director at the Randolph Tucker Children's Advocacy Center. We work with community partners to support healing and justice for children who have been victimized and their families as well. The CAC model is all about using collaboration and teamwork, so that multidisciplinary investigative team model to respond to reports of child abuse in our community. In fiscal year 2021, RTCAC provided essential services to children and families, professionals, and the community at large throughout the whole pandemic. So I haven't gotten to be here in a couple of years. Glad to be here in person again. Thanks for continuing, first of all, continuing to support our programs. We really couldn't do it without y'all. And I do believe I've sent in the formal request, which I'll let you guys look at. So during this past fiscal year, we were able to help 121 new children. So we continue to provide support to families and children throughout their entire case process, and as long as they need us. So that's almost 5,000 people in a year. But new children that we added in families, 121 new children to our list. Those were on-site at the Children's Advocacy Center, and that included the forensic interview for the investigative purpose, crisis intervention, needs assessments, and then referral for support for those families. CAC staff made 3,932 advocacy contacts with caregivers. I still have my mask on. Can't breathe, like I'm trying to talk to everybody. Maintaining connections with those families and caregivers to ensure that they receive the support that they need from the beginning of that investigation all the way through the end until the case concludes. 46 children were seen at the CAC and referred for mental health services following their disclosures. And then 30 of those children needed medical support following that disclosure of abuse, and we were able to help them get into that too. We also have our on-site medical exam room up and running. Now this has been a dream of mine for 4 years now to get on-site medical, and we finally have it up and going, and so that's been wonderful to be able to have those children seen right in our office when they need us. And we contract with pediatric SANE examiner Rachel Anger through the Davis Health Systems now. She moved. So she's still our person. So 30 children were able to be seen. Not necessarily in that way, but we've got it up and running now. 21 of those received, well, those were referred, and then 21 actually received the forensic medical exam that they needed. So the CAC continued to see those kids throughout the COVID pandemic, utilizing teleforensic interviewing, because we couldn't be in the room with that child for, it was, you know, an hour to 2 hours sometimes with those children. So we did it through teleforensic interviewing. So Zoom call, the interviewer would be in one room and the child would be in the other, just an office apart, and they were able to take off their masks and communicate through that process, but the team could log on through Zoom as well, and everybody could, through the pandemic, still be able to provide that needed support for those children and get that necessary forensic interview, that statement of the child for prosecution. Our case reviews also continued in that same format through Zoom. It involved a lot of updating of our computer systems and things, but we did it, and here we are. Let's see, what else did we do? 18 members of our team and CAC staff participated in medical training last year to strengthen our MDIT approach through using physical evidentiary signs. Big long name. But they got that medical training that is really important so that the staff and our team knows what to look for and when to report for medical examinations. We sent 6 of us to West Virginia Child Advocacy Network statewide conference, and that's actually going to happen again in April, and they're providing it for free. So we're now also able to open up training opportunity for our team and staff to go to the National Symposium on Child Abuse. So we're really excited. That's up and coming for us, so that's great. Trying to ensure that our team has the best training, the most up-to-date, evidence-based, necessary, you know, so that we can respond the best way that we can for kids. Randolph Tucker CAC provided child sexual abuse prevention to 897 children and 82 adults in the community through these challenging times, adapting our service options and being able to provide this prevention either virtually or in person. We are finally back in the classroom this year, which has been great too. That's really the big things that we've been doing. If you aren't familiar where our office is, I forgot to mention, we had gotten to purchase a building. We now have the CAC house, as I call it. It's where Dr. White's Vet's Clinic used to be, past Sears on your way out of town. So that's where we now have a house, which has been great. And we've been able to grow, so that's been wonderful. If you haven't been there, and I know you guys haven't gotten to see the new space yet, please come by and see it. It's been great. Sheriff Elvin has gotten to come over, so it's been nice. So we are also going to have an in-person Champions for Children this year. We have been virtual the last 2 years, so we have a save the date, May 13th. Please join us. And then I also dropped off an invite to a breakfast later on this month, I think, March 31st at Phil Gaynor Center. Join us there too.
So you're here to, brought to front, your annual allotment that we do in the budget,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Well, right, I'd love to report out, but also thank you for that funding, and then if you could continue that.
And we start our budgeting process next Wednesday,
Mhm.
so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure you guys are aware, we still need your support.
Yeah.
And appreciate it.
And we're there for you, and because you guys are doing such a wonderful job, so.
And it's sad that we need a program like that, but it's great to have you all there when you're needed, and
We're here.
And-
we appreciate it.
Thank you.
I started working with you guys in 2012 when I got transferred out of Panhandle to Cocker County.
Right.
And the work you all do is very essential to the prosecution of a lot of cases that we work with, not just children, but some of the disabled adults that we dealt with as well.
Yes.
So the work you guys do down there is second to none, really. And I've worked with a lot in about 25 years. You guys do a great job down there.
I appreciate that, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to item D. That's an informational presentation and funding request for Earth Day 2022.
Hi, thanks for having me here. I do have some papers I'll give out to you.
And you are Cindy Stemple?
Cindy Stemple, yes. I am actually, well, I was on the board of the CAC. I'm also a volunteer at the Arts Center, so I have a lot of friends here today. I am actually the chairperson of the Environment and Conservation Committee of GFWC Women's Club of Elkins. And we are doing, we are working collaboratively with a number of organizations this year to hold an Earth Day celebration on April 30th at the City Park. We have that already reserved. The groups that we've invited to participate are the, of course, us, Women's Club of Elkins, WVU Master Gardeners, Elkins Make It Shine, the Tree Board, D&E College, Youth Build, Emma Scott Garden Club, 4-H, the Extension Service, Kump Education Center, Elkins Main Street, DNR, West Virginia Department of West Virginia DEP Youth Program, Interact Children's Museum, and Wonder and Grow. Now, we don't have confirmation from all those groups, but we are reaching out to those groups to help us. This is our second year doing the Earth Day celebration. We held it last year actually on Earth Day. We're not doing it on Earth Day this year because it would conflict with the Ramps and Rails Festival. So we want to make sure that we don't conflict with them. So it will be held on Saturday, April 30th. I was hoping to not have to come here and ask for funding, but the past 2 years, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, the majority of our funding for our the Women's Club of Elkins comes from the craft show that we hold at the Forest Festival. And over the past 2 years, we generally bring in somewhere between $11,000 and $13,000 from our craft show. We've not been able to have that craft show for the past 2 years. So as you can imagine, we had some great budgeting and we really did well through the first year, but it's been very, very difficult this second year. We sponsor a lot of programs in Randolph County. We do scholarships. We support organizations locally, statewide, and nationally, our women's club. So we've had to really trim back the budget, and this year, my committee is holding a poster contest for Randolph County elementary students, and a poetry contest for secondary students, in conjunction with Earth Day. And our theme this year is Take Care of Our Earth, Invest in Our Future. So information will be distributed to the schools for all the children who would like to participate in the program, or in either the poster contest or the poetry contest. The poster contest will be for grades 3 through 5, and we would love to give cash awards to first, second, and third place winners in the poster contest. The poetry contest will have 2 divisions. Division 1s would be grades 6 through 8, and Division 2 would be grades 9 through 12. Cash prizes will be given, will be awarded to the first and second place winners in each of those divisions. And then we will invite all those students to the park, of course, on Earth Day, and we'll have the posters all displayed. We'll have, if the secondary students want to read their poems, they can. Any of the poems can be read. We had to kind of, last year when we did this, they were a little bit hesitant to read them, but it ended up being a very nice event. For the poster contest awards, it would be, first place would receive $25, second place $15, third place $10, and then the poetry contest cash awards, in each division, first place would be $50, second place would be $25. So the total prize money to be awarded would be $200. And then we would also request $100 to purchase reusable shopping bags that we would give out to the children and to the families. So they would have a reusable shopping bag, and I found some really nice ones online that have animals on them and things that really go along with Earth Day. So we're asking for $300 to support this. Normally this money would come out of the Women's Club budget, but as I just explained, our budget is very tight, and we would not be able to do that this year. Hopefully next year, after we've had, hopefully, fingers crossed, the craft show again and some other fundraisers, we will be able to do this. I also wanted to mention that the Elkins Tree Board is donating a tree. Last year we planted 2 trees, one tree at Midland, 1 tree at Beverly. This year we'll be planting a tree at Third Ward School, hopefully. I haven't had a chance to get in touch with the principal yet. But that's basically what we're going to be doing on April 30th at the City Park from noon to 2 will be the event. And then Tree Board's going to be doing some other things in conjunction with Arbor Day, so we'll be helping with those as well. So I'm asking for a total of $300 to help support the poster poetry contest and the reusable bag purchase. So, and I thank you for having me here. Does anybody have any questions?
It will be a great event.
But you may reach out to the Randolph County Solid Waste Authority. I think
We're doing that, yes.
Okay.
I have another person is reaching out to them,
Okay,
and they helped us out last year as well.
They've donated in the past.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I think Jane Birdsong's gonna be reaching out to them, because she used to
Okay.
be on the board there,
Yeah,
I
she
believe,
was.
so. Yeah, she said that they were very generous last year, so hopefully, and we'd like to expand this. Last year was actually the first year we did this, and the weather was just horrendous. It was so cold. But we had a lot of kids participate, and we had a very nice event for the first year. So we're hoping that this grows each year and we can get even more organizations involved in it, and even have better prizes and you know, get more people involved. So we appreciate any help that you can give us, and let me give you one of these that you can look over. I don't have any kind of fancy presentation, because this is actually the first time I've ever done this, so.
You're doing fine.
So, well, I'm used to, I'm a retired teacher, so I'm used to talking to people. So, but I thank you very much for your.
No, we'll need an address for the.
Oh, okay, I'm just gonna give you my address, would you do that
Well, you
for
can
the,
look and send a check.
for the women's club? Oh gosh, can you send it to me and I can give it to them?
Yeah, it'll be made out to the women's club, and then you
Yeah,
can
gee-
look at her.
One,
Put your,
just Women's Club of Elkins, okay. Yeah,
she'll make a motion.
Yeah, I'll do it. Go ahead and make a motion to approve the funding request, from the Earth Day committees in the amount of $300 to be taken from the courthouse contractual line item.
Okay, got a motion on the floor to approve the funding request from the Earth Day Committee in the amount of $300, which will be taken from courthouse contractual. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carries.
thank
Check
you,
that
yeah,
out.
if you send that to me, I can't remember our address right now for the, for Women's Club, but
It'll
I
get
will,
there.
I'll get it to our treasurer, Greg.
We trust you.
Okay, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Moving on to item E, that's consider approval of request from Norton Harding Jimtown PSD.
Okay,
I believe you have something from,
Yeah, they weren't here, I think that not here today, but they came in and we spoke to them. They're in need of some equipment. For example, a smoke machine camera inspection system, a jet ventilation system, trash pump, electric pump, water leak detection, inverter generator, and a tower light. All in all, it's about $34,800 worth of equipment that they're in dire need of. And I'd like to make a motion that we approve the funding request for the Norton Hardin Jimtown PSD in the amount of $800 to be taken from the American Rescue Plan for infrastructure.
okay, got a motion on the floor to approve the funding request from the Harding Norton Jimtown PSD in the amount of $34,800 to be taken from the ARP funding. And this is for equipment to repair, for repairs at the water and sewer line. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carried. Next is item F, consider approval of funding request from the Randolph County Senior Center for the Harmon and Mill Creek Nutrition Site. Believe it has to be furnished.
I believe Chris Solid would like to speak on these.
Yeah, you got the letter right
I
there.
do.
Okay. Yeah, we've, received a request here from Laura Ward, who runs the, senior centers in the county, which we have Mill Creek, Elkins, and Harmon, Harmon and Mill Creek being mostly nutrition centers. She's had a lot of pretty go at, furnaces going out this year, had a lot of trouble. She's requested funding to replace, one more furnace at the, Harmon Nutrition Center. She'd already taken money out of her funding to replace 2 of the 3 furnaces in Mill Creek, and the 3rd one is due to be replaced as well. She's asking for funding for it as well. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the funding request from Randolph County Senior Center in the amount of $5,900 for a replacement furnace at the Harmon Nutrition Site to be taken from the American Rescue Plan Fund. You want me to do them together?
You can do them together.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll just make one big one.
All right, we'll make a motion to, as well, to approve the funding request from the Randolph County Senior Center in the amount of $5,500 for a replacement furnace at the Mill Creek Nutrition Site to be taken from the American Rescue Plan Fund as well.
Okay, got a motion on the floor to approve the funding request from the Randolph County Senior Center in the amount of $5,900 for the furnace at the Harmon Nutrition Site, and it'll be taken from the ARP funding. And have another motion to approve the funding request from Randolph County Senior Center in the amount of $5,500 for a furnace at the Mill Creek Nutrition Center, which will also be taken from the American Rescue Plan Fund. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carried. Gotta keep them warm.
That's right.
Okay, moving on to item G, that's consider approval of quote from Global Science Technology for Cisco SmartNet renewal.
This is something we do every year. This is for the,
Clerk,
yeah,
Sheriff.
that we use for the statewide computer network. The amount is $967.70. It's for the, annual renewal. So we do this every year. So I make a motion that we
Okay,
approve
motion.
I make a motion we approve the quote from GST, right, GST, yeah,
Yeah.
Global Science Technology, Technology, the West Virginia Division for the, renewal fee of $967.70.
Okay, got a motion for approve the quotes from GST in the amount of $967.70 for Cisco 4321 router SmartNet renewal. This will be taken from the computer equipment line. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next is item H, that's consider signing letter of endorsement for the Leading Creek Fire Department annual gun bash.
Yeah, I make a motion that we approve the, signing of this letter. It's to whom it may concern the Randolph County Commission met its regular meeting on March the 3rd, 2022. The County Commission has no objection to the issuance of a license to sell alcohol at the event scheduled for May 14th, 2022 at the Leading Creek Fire Station. Randolph County has no zoning ordinance or restrictions pertaining to this matter. If you have any questions, please let us know. Best regards, Christopher C.
No.
So
Is that all right with you, Sheriff?
Yes, sir.
I make a motion that we approve that.
Okay, got a motion to approve the letter of endorsement for the Leading Creek Fire Department annual gun bash as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carried. Sign this.
Does support our fire departments.
Everybody's got one soon, aren't you?
Yeah.
Very happy.
Darren, Chris?
February,
Yeah, I got a ticket off of Dave Harper. Okay, moving on to item I, first reading of the public comment policy adoption.
Yeah, I'd like to read what I like to propose for a public comment policy for our commission meetings. I'm just gonna read it to you, and as I go through, I may interject some stuff. There, Randolph County Commission recognizes the value of public comment on commission issues and the importance of allowing members of the public to express themselves on matters of community interest. As such, the commission will set an item on the agenda of each regular meeting for public comment. We already do that. The following guidelines pertain to all speakers who will be addressing the commission during the public comment sessions. Please note that the public comment is video recorded and is posted to the internet following the commission meetings. The identities of the speakers and their comments are recorded in the official minutes of the commission, which are retained online and are publicly available. And then it goes into details. Individuals who wish to address the commission are requested to place their name on the signed-in list located at the table in the county commission room 5 minutes prior to the commencement of each meeting. If a speaker did not have the opportunity to sign in prior to the meeting, the commission president will ask at the end of the public comment if there are any other individuals who would wish to make a public comment. Those wishing to speak will raise their hand and the president will recognize them, so they'll be allowed to. Each speaker shall be limited to 5 minutes during the public comment period. The clerk will indicate, Brenda, when the time has expired and the next speaker will be invited to begin. The public comment is not a question and answer period. It provides individuals with an opportunity to express their comments regarding a subject matter. All comments shall be directed only to the commission as a whole. No person may address or question members individually. The commission will not respond to comments made during the public comment period unless it becomes necessary to direct speakers for assistance. Issues requiring possible action by the county commission may be added to a future agenda. Unused portions of individual allotted time may not be yielded to other speakers. Written comments and materials brought to the commission by speakers will be accepted during public comment and will be made available to all commissioners. The following will not be permitted during public comment: hate speech, comments that incite violence, profanity, obscenity, or vulgarity, use of public comment as a form to campaign for political office, name calling and or personal attacks, slander. If specific comments violate the provisions of this policy, a commissioner may interrupt, warn, or terminate an individual's presentation, request that any individual leave the meeting when the individual fails to observe reasonable decorum, request the assistance of the sheriff's department in the removal of a disorderly individual when the individual's conduct interferes with the orderly progress of the meeting, or call for a brief recess. So, I think we have, I think we need to adopt this. This is our first read of it. I mean, we have examples of it today, I think, that, could have been stopped for slander attacks against a deputy of the county. So, I like to, this is our first read of it, so no motion be made today. We'll take it up at our next meeting.
We wanna make a motion to approve the first reading.
I'll make a motion that we approve the first reading as it was submitted and read.
Got a motion for approve the first reading of the public comment policy as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carries. Yeah, we'll do next meeting.
Yep.
Then adopt. Next, we have item J, consider approval of change to employee handbook comp time policy. Sheriff, would you like to speak to that for us?
Sure. You guys brought a policy change over for our law enforcement division.
Yeah.
No, you go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry. I brought a policy, adjustment over for our law enforcement division for a comp time policy. You guys have reviewed that, looked at it. I'm open to any questions you may have. It just opens it up to allow 240 hours of comp time to be accumulated. Our pro guys are taking advantage of that at this point. They're working a lot of ball games, school functions, other opportunities where our school board's actually paying for those guys, and it allows more activity with the officers, with the kids in the school functions, without having to pay the overtime rate, or pay them for overtime. They're gonna take the time off after school's out at the end of the summer. Have a couple other guys in the department that have asked for this. One has military leave, that he's gonna use it for, and one of the other deputies has an ill family member that, just in case something would happen, he would be able to use some of these hours. Neither one of those two guys have very much time at this point, like 3 hours, I think, between the two of them, or 3 or 4. So I would appreciate if you guys would approve this. It is a trial thing. We're gonna try it out first. If you approve it, I will be watching it and tracking it to make sure that it's doesn't get out of hand, if we have any issues with it. If it does, I'll come back to you and ask you to reverse the policy.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You wanna read it?
Ask questions first, or you want?
So on the board, you said the board is paying for this. They're aware that the overtime will be rolled into comp time, right?
Yes, sir. There's a letter. They have a letter there.
And they'll pay for that. They'll know that it's not going to be paid directly at the time when if they're staying over for ball games, but it'll be rolled into comp time that they'll be taking it off in the summer, right?
Yes, correct.
So they'll be paying for that.
Yes, sir. They pay the full 12 months for those 2 pro officers. It's written in the grant that way. The only thing the county commission or the sheriff's office has involved is we have to provide a car, equipment, training for the officer every year to keep him certified as a law enforcement officer. Of course, tasers, bullets, guns, things like that.
Federal law for the military is only 30 days a year, correct, to serve the country?
That's correct.
So, and he does more than that with his training.
Usually.
He's a
Correct.
trainer. He's a trainer for the
Yeah.
military. He's leaving in May and going to, not Turkey, but somewhere over toward Ukraine, somewhere over there. I'm not exactly sure where. It's in a foreign country. He's a trainer for the military. He's got years and years and years of experience, and they're using his experience and training to train others. So that's the only reason he's looking at that.
I know we talked about too, that, for the pro officers, if school was canceled or delayed, would they use comp time for that, or what would happen?
Yeah, since I've talked with you guys about that, we've revamped that a little bit. If there's no school, then the officer uses 8 hours of his comp time that he's accumulated at this point. 3 hour delay, same thing. He don't go in until later, after school kicks up and the buses are rolling, things like that.
Anything else? All right, I'll go ahead and, policy 4.2 overtime. It reads, your department head must approve overtime in advance. Overtime consists of work hours greater than 40 hours in one pay week. time off with or without pay, including but not limited to holiday, vacation, sick leave, personal leave, etc., will not be used in calculating overtime. Eligibility for non-exempt employees for overtime compensation will be determined by guidelines set forth in the Fair Labor Standards Act, FLSA. Overtime compensation may take the form of pay at a rate equal to 1.5 times your straight time rate or compensatory time calculated at a rate of 1.5 times for work beyond 40 hours in the work week. The form of overtime compensation shall be determined by the department head. Precise documentation of overtime must be recorded on your attendance sheet. All overtime compensatory time must have prior approval of your department head. Meal periods are not used in the calculation of overtime. Law enforcement deputies may accrue up to 240 hours of compensatory time, while all other eligible employees may accrue up to 80 hours of compensatory time. An employee may request the use of compensatory time at any time, provided the request is made in writing to the department head 3 days in advance of the anticipated use. The department head may require the employee to use accumulated compensatory time periodically in order to reduce the employee's total accumulated compensatory time. If this policy differs from civil service regulations, the civil service regulations shall prevail.
You could've just said comp time.
I gotta make it difficult. I'm just double checking it first to make sure I understand this correctly. The same time off with or without pay, including but not limited to holiday, vacation, sick leave, personal, etc., will not be used in calculating overtime. If you work,
You can't use if you're off on vacation, you can't use those hours to add into your 40 for comp time.
okay, I'm just making sure I understand the overtime altogether.
Now, if you got comp time and vacation time, do you have to use your comp time first? Can you use vacation
No,
to save?
you request whichever one you wanna use. The guys run into, they've been here for a while, they generally carry 30 days vacation. And most I did when I was a deputy here, I worked up to 30 and held on to those and used anything else I accumulated above 30 in case something catastrophic happened during the, in my family or something.
I wanna make sure we're doing the overtime correctly. It's like in a 40-hour week, if you use 8-hour sick day, but you work 44 hours through the week with that 8-hour sick day.
You get 4 hours straight pay, it sounds like.
4 hours straight pay until that 8 hours is worked, and then it goes to time and a half again, correct?
The way I understand it.
Okay, I want to
I'm no guru.
that paragraph is not very,
I'm no guru on that, but Brenda's office is pretty sharp on that.
but the way, right?
Well, I don't do that part of it, but that's.
Okay, that's the way it's supposed to be.
I think that part was copied straight off of the last policy, so there's no change in that.
Okay, I just wanted to make
The
sure.
bottom paragraph, I think is what we changed.
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe that's a correct statement.
I just wanted to make sure I read that correctly, and I understood that correctly.
Now, is there any way we can put anything in there about minutes? Like not use 10 minutes, 15 minutes? Like some offices are doing?
I think that's,
That's a big pain in your ear, and
Yeah.
Is my office doing that?
no.
Okay, I'll fix that.
Not yours,
Not
but you
yours.
have others that
Okay,
are.
I'll fix that if that's a problem.
I think it's in there, it just says, well, the department head may require an employee to accumulate comp, I think it's, we need to put something maybe where the department head's responsible for maintaining.
Well, I mean, I don't think, we need to put into the policy where people are not clocking in 10, 15 minutes early each day just to get comp time. Because that's basically what it is, it's just to be able to obtain comp time, you clock in at the time that you start, and you clock out the time you get done, not
They're
before,
coming
not
in
after.
10 or 15 minutes early every day and writing that down so they can accumulate a bunch of comp.
We put a directive out that our guys cannot log on to the radio until 5 minutes prior to their shift. And they put it on as 1800 or 0600, they don't put down the 5 till.
Yeah, but you know how it is when you come out.
But we want them on the road at 6 o'clock,
Yeah,
not getting ready.
You know, some guys come out 5-10 minutes just to get out and just to put on the radio, finish getting ready, and then go back. That way, because they know they're not gonna be quite out the door right at 8 o'clock or whatever.
Yeah, I want them on the road at 6, that's what
Or
I told
6,
them.
yeah.
So they sometimes clock in at 5 till, but we told them not to come out sooner than 5.
Yeah. I don't know if we put in that policy or a different policy.
I mean, we could always approve this and then come back and ask, like Parker, Hal to wording for what we could say and can't say, and, something about the clock-ins, that, that we ask that they clock in no sooner than, or work their scheduled shift.
I know like at the federal building, we clock in up to 7 minutes prior or up to 7 minutes after. You got a 14-minute window to make sure you're on time. But
That way they don't count you late, you're not, if you
Yeah.
show up 6 minutes after, you're not, it's
Yeah,
not.
but what we're
going
having a
against you.
problem is they're clocking in 10 minutes earlier, they're working their full shift, and they get
Yeah.
10 minutes extra time, they're using it as comp time.
But we don't get any comp time or overtime for them, like if I clock in at 8:53 every day, I don't get 7 minutes of overtime every day.
Right, and most
It's just
people
to make
don't.
sure it's just to
You know,
make
if
sure
your
you're
shift starts
on
at 8
time.
o'clock, most people write down 8 o'clock, even though they got there.
That's how we have it set up at the emergency spot too, it's
Some
7 till or
people
7 after.
Yeah,
Our entire, like, we have to clock in with our thumbprints.
that's what ours is.
And it'll just bonk you out of the system, you go in 15 minutes early and you're there,
They won't let you do it.
it won't let you do it.
You all have the same system we have at the Fed building, huh? Where you clock, you got 7 minutes before, 7 minutes after?
Because we got remote stations, so all the substations, when they come in, it's the same thing, so they do it on biometrics, it comes into one
Yeah.
mainframe, but that's how we manage it.
But you have straight overtime, do you have comp time?
We don't do comp time, it's straight up.
Straight overtime.
What I would like.
Yeah.
Now, when you do your clock in, like we do at the Fed, is that anything overtime, if I come in 5 minutes early each day?
No, it
It's
zeroes
just-
back to 7 o'clock.
It just says you're on time.
And the reason we did that is
7
the same
over or
thing.
7 before.
Yeah.
You're on time.
We don't start punishing employees until they're past 7 months after.
Okay, yeah, same system we use at the federal building.
That sounds like verbiage almost.
Yeah, so if you want, just approve this policy, then we can always come back and make a revision to it, or,
Yeah, just what we need to fix that problem, because that's a whole different issue.
because I like to see something where you clock in at your station or something too, so instead
On
of
the
these
computer.
handwritten sheets. So I need some money for that.
Yeah, that's Chris. We'll work on that.
Grand.
I'll sign the check.
All right, I make a motion that we approve the amended policy as presented.
Got a motion for to approve the amended policy as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Like I said, if it doesn't work, we can always,
Well,
I'll go back.
we need to go back and look at this other thing. I said,
Yeah, some other
if it's a thing about where we look at the budget for about a countywide, clock-in system or something. So instead of these, because because everybody uses the hand
And
sheets.
then you can set the parameters.
Yeah, because
The US Attorney's Office uses a clock in on the computer. They have to log in on the computer by, Leslie has to be logged in by 7:30 every morning. So that, because that's when her shift starts.
there's something out there that we need to look at, so during budget season.
Mhm.
That'd be a project for you.
Sure.
All right, look that up by next week.
Okay.
All right.
okay. Next, we got, item K, consider approval of quote for awning on the magistrate building.
Yeah.
You wanna talk about that, Siler?
Yeah, I had a request from the ladies in the magistrate court about the side door, wanting an awning, so that when they're trying to get in there, when it's raining or whatever in the morning, they're not getting soaked while they're trying to get in the door. I went down to Builders and priced one, and we're looking at under $300 for an aluminum awning. To
what's his name?
put up above the doors, it's a simple install, so
He may know
the guys here should be able to do that without an issue.
If not, you're gonna come do it?
Yeah.
If not, I'll come and do it and I'll bring Elman.
For free.
Have them position it so you can still utilize the lights at night, it doesn't make it dark under there. Never thought of that, did you?
Is there a light up above that? Is it? Okay, we'll have to make some adjustments, but we can do that.
That way it's not dark when they come out and they can't see, and, or they can't see to get in.
Yeah, we may have a little bit of adjustments here with electrical, but we can do that.
So your quote's gonna go up?
Oh, no.
He's
So
got,
electrical, we'll have a different quote for electrical.
he's
not
got
for the
wiring
awning.
and wirements and stuff, we'll make it work.
We can make them.
Alright, so make your motion.
You got them, you made the motion?
I'll make a motion to consider approval of a quote of awning for the magistrate court building,
Not to exceed.
not to exceed $300 for the awning.
That'll fix your problem with the leak over that door too, guys, where the water runs in there all the
Yeah.
time.
We'll fix that
That'll
too.
fix that too, because then the water will hit the awning first instead of running down in that frame of that door.
Yeah, you
Okay.
seal the back of that.
That'll be a good move.
Did you tell them that Mark Scott was supposed to take care of this years ago, and he's, you know, he.
I wasn't
You
gonna
mentioned that.
I wasn't
And he
gonna put
failed
that
to
on the
do
record.
it, so
Promise about prior
you're gonna clean up
commissioner.
Mark Scott's, well,
I wasn't gonna put that on the record, no.
it's now in the minutes.
So we got a motion on the floor to approve the quote for the awning on the master building, not to go over $300. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carries.
I'll go ahead and have them order that.
Do you have anything for the extension service? No. Just come to observe?
Come to see the circus earlier?
Okay, move on to final settlements and annual counties.
I'll make a motion to approve the non-final settlements as presented.
Motion on the floor to approve non-final settlements as submitted. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion passes.
Budget
Next,
revision.
we have budget revision. You got any, how many?
3.
3 budget revisions.
Yeah, in-house. First one is a in-house budget revision for 911, taking $10,000 out of the 911 equipment line and moving it to the 911 training line. So I make a motion that we approve the in-house budget revision for 911 as submitted.
Motion on the floor to approve the 911 in-house budget revision as submitted in the amount of $10,000. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carries.
Robert, how's that going on getting everybody certified again? Or getting it back up to date, I should say?
We're making progress, just slowly, but we're making progress.
Okay. Good, good, good.
Next,
Just takes time.
next in-house budget revision is for the sheriff. It's taking $2,000 out of contract service and moving into the training line. So I make a motion, we approve the in-house budget revision for the sheriff as submitted for $2,000.
I've got a motion on the floor to approve the in-house budget revision from the sheriff's office in the amount of $2,000. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carries.
Next and last in-house budget revision is for the sheriff. It's moving wages from process server to the jail line, and that's $7,698, and then one from the jailer software line, moving it to the sheriff equipment repair line of $1,000. So the total in-house budget revision is $8,698. So make a motion, we approve the in-house budget, no, this is a state budget revision. This is a state budget revision, so you have to have a roll call on that one.
Okay. So I got a motion for approve the in-house state budget revision. The sheriff's office in the amount of $8,698. Commissioner Keeson?
Aye.
Commissioner Siler?
Aye.
Commissioner C? Aye. Motion passes. Okay, next, we have a business property and renters assessments.
I'll make them,
On that one, I got the little number up.
oh, 11,
What are they? All rights assessments, okay.
these are 11.
Yeah, division of properties.
Okay. Alright, I'll make a motion,
Erroneous assessments, I'm sorry.
11 erroneous assessments.
11,
Okay, I'll make a, motion to approve the 11 erroneous assessments as presented.
motion on the floor to approve 11 erroneous assessments as submitted. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carries. Next, we have the stress property. Brooke?
Nope.
No.
I know, I hate to even ask you, fire fee adjustment,
45.
I think about
45.
Make a motion we approve the 45 fire fee adjustments as submitted.
Got a motion floor to approve the 45 fire fee adjustments as submitted. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign, motion carried. Next, payment of the bills.